What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to discuss a new ETF that we haven't discussed before on this channel, and it's in the electric vehicle sector. And that ETF is the iShares Electric Vehicle and Driving Technology, ticker symbol ECAR or ECAR. So what we'll discuss in today's video is the overall constituents of the portfolio that make up ECAR. We'll have a look at their current share price, and most importantly, we'll look at their exposure around the globe in terms of diversification, and also news articles and catalysts that will alter the price going forward. And finally, I'll discuss if I plan on buying this ETF based on the research we're going to do now. And with all that being said, let's dive right into today's video. So if you've seen any of my prior videos, I already hold one iShares ETF at the moment, and that's in clean energy. So I'm all for clean energy and electric vehicles, as I believe they are the kind of stocks that will perform the best going forward. Now, I'm also quite surprised that we haven't covered this ETF before, as electric vehicles, just like clean energy, have a lot of different alterations and factors in terms of different stocks within the sector. For example, in the clean energy alone, there's numerous different subsectors such as wind, solar, etc. So, and also in the electric vehicles, that's no different. There's a lot of different subsectors within the electric vehicle sector as well. You'd actually be quite surprised how a vast array of different mini subparticles are in each of these ETFs. So that's one of the main reasons why, in my own personal opinion, I like to hold ETFs in these style sectors that are kind of haven't proved themselves yet. They're kind of more on the up. So because over the next 5 to 10 years, there'll be a lot of companies go up and down within these sectors due to trial and error. For example, this isn't like the financial sector where there are already kind of blue chip companies that are set in stone as such. So I feel that because these type of sectors are still in their infant stage, in my opinion, that you're kind of better off holding an overall basket to help protect yourself in terms of diversification. ECAR is currently trading at $7.79. If we look at the 1 year chart here on Trading 212, we can see over the last year it has a very impressive upward trend, and it's up about 90% over the last 12 months. If we go back to the 3-month chart, it's a small bit more choppy. However, it's still up 14.77%. If we go back to the 1 month, again, it's in the red. It's down 3.5%, and again, that's mainly due to the overall market volatility that we've all seen over the last few weeks. If we go to the 1 week chart, again, it's up about 2.5%, so we can see some recovery. And back to the 1 day chart, it's only open, as it's on the London Stock Exchange, it's only open about 14 minutes at the moment, and it's already up nearly 1%. On the iShares.com website, we can see the main overall investment objective within this ETF. So it's to seek to track the investment results of the index composed of developed and emerging market companies that focus on electric vehicles and developing technology. That's the main objective of the ETF ECAR. So if you want to read the kind of more in-depth description of the synopsis, it's on the left here as well if you'd like to pause the video. So we can see on screen now that they have over $500 million in net assets. They are domiciled in Ireland, and also their share class is USD. Currently, there is 81 constituents that make up this ETF. So again, this will be brilliant for diversification. We'll discuss that in a bit more detail down below. And they also have 72 million shares outstanding. As I said, there is about 81 constituents that make up this ETF. And again, it's no surprise that Tesla, the main market leader in the electric vehicle sector, is in top position here with 4.71% holding within this ETF. And in second position, we have Kia Motors with 3.33%. Now on screen, it's only the top 10 holdings. As I said, if you'd like to do a more in-depth kind of video in terms of what holdings are in this ETF, just let me know below, and then we can do a video on that as well. What I also like about this ETF is that because there's 80 stocks, it offers vast diversification. Firstly, in terms of FX impact across different currencies, and second of all, across the globe in different markets and emerging and developed markets. So we're going to discuss that in a small more detail next. For exposure breakdown, we have currency and geography and also sectors here, the 3 top headings. In terms of currency, 42.37% of the overall ETF is in USD. Then we have the likes of Euro, Japanese Yen and South Korean Won making up the top currencies. If we go into the geography section, again, it's no surprise that the US is top here. They're 42.32% of the overall ETF is held within the US. We then have Japan, Korea, India and Germany, including a few more European countries as well down below. Then if we go into the sector allocation, we can see the subsectors are in consumer discretionary, IT, industrials, and the remaining piece of this ETF is in cash or derivatives. Another thing I quite like about this ETF is that it's non-biased in terms of, let's say I was quite surprised that some of these YouTube style electric vehicle stocks were not in the top 10, such as NIO, Lordstown Motors, Workhorse, etc. So it's quite good in my opinion that they aren't just putting the top companies from YouTube onto these ETFs. Now these are obviously proper fund managers, so that's why I like these style ETFs more than individual picks. As I'm sure you're already aware, the electric vehicle sector has been booming over the last 12 to 18 months. However, just like the majority of stocks, over the last few weeks they've taken quite a hit. So in my opinion, it always poses a great opportunity when these style companies, or any companies for that matter, that have a lot of potential going forward, have a dip, because it gets in at a cheaper price or it improves your dollar cost average on your current position. And just for example, this recent market kind of consolidation or correction, whichever way you like to put it, has wiped off a huge 400 billion of the market value within this sector, which is a crazy figure. So there is many reasons why I believe the electric vehicle sector going forward has huge opportunity, hence why holding an ETF such as ECAR is a great opportunity to make money in the long term in my opinion. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, this is just my own opinion after doing my own research. And kind of two main factors would be, firstly, the 1.9 trillion stimulus that once that goes through Senate and actually gets fully accepted on, that will really start pumping more money into a lot of stocks, not just electric vehicles, but it will start to pump up the market even more. And second of all, Biden's plan of having electric vehicles kind of being the forefront of their talks and a cleaner economy has huge benefits over the next 5 to 10 years in this sector in my opinion. Obviously, one of the main reasons why people invest into ETFs is to have diversification across the board, and ECAR in the electric vehicle sector is no different. For example, here on screen we can see that analysts believe that the Chinese market is key to electric vehicles going forward. Again, I would agree with that. So it just goes to show that, for example, if you held an individual electric vehicle stock that wasn't in China, now again, obviously, if it was just in the US, that doesn't necessarily mean that there's no opportunity there either. But I'm just saying that having an ETF across the board, now we saw how diversified across this ETF was earlier in terms of FX currencies and also globally where the companies stand. I do believe ECAR is a prime example of how you should diversify across different sectors or stocks within a sector, and ECAR certainly ticks all the boxes for me. On Bloomberg, Robert Arnott makes a very valid point that in terms of a lot of people can have market delusion in terms of sectors, and electric vehicles in my opinion is certainly one of these. And he states here as well that not all stocks can be winners, and that really drives home the importance of holding an ETF to spread out your risk across different stocks within this sector. So that's it for today's video. I just wanted to give my own 2 cents on the ETF in the electric vehicle sector in the form of ECAR. We had a look at their portfolio constituents, their current share price, and we had a look at the chart briefly. We then talked about some catalysts and news articles going forward, and we had a small discussion about my own opinion on the electric vehicle market going forward. In terms of this ETF ECAR, I will definitely be considering this ETF in my portfolio going forward. Over the next few weeks, I will be reshuffling some of my portfolio. So when I am doing so, there might be an opportunity to move this ETF into my overall portfolio. But again, if I do so, I will certainly let you know in another video. Thanks very much for watching today. I really appreciate all the support as of late. If you're new around here again, it'd be much appreciated if you could smash that subscribe button and like the video, would really help the channel out going forward. And most importantly, if you have any questions, comments, queries or suggestions, please don't hesitate to comment below and I'll be sure to get back to you as quick as I can. Thanks very much, enjoy your Thursday, and I will see y'all in tomorrow's video.